Hello.
So Seraphine suddenly jumps up in her sleep and she's like kind of squealing and like oinking and like just,
You're
just
oinking in Romance ears, by the way, because he next to
yeah,
you.
like she seems scared and she kind of like just is running around in terrified circles, not knowing what to do, and she can't say what just happened to her. 'Cause
Theodos will run at, will drop everything he's doing and run at Seraphine. Like, okay, stop moving.
Stop. She like she kind of like skirts to a halt in front of him, and she's like if you look down at her right now, she's got the most terrified look in her eyes, and she
Okay,
is shaking.
say one note for yes, two notes for no. Bad dream?
She nods.
Once or twice?
Uh, wait, wait, nod once for yes, twice for no.
Yes.
Okay, she nodded once.
Okay. No danger coming up.
She nods twice.
Fucking hell. Don't do that to me.
Is that something to do with what's happening in the group?
Uh,
Are we in any danger of the team?
Says Tammy.
Says Tammy.
She nods once and does kind of like one halfway with the head tilt. And then
that
she kind of like
maybe.
she pats her hose against her head because she's just like, oh, I want to explain, but I can't.
Okay, I feel
Hold
I
on,
need
hold
to
on.
feel
So
this.
Tammy.
Yeah,
so
Theodos, can you
Tammy-
transform again?
Yeah.
I was gonna say like Tammy was gonna like point at somebody. It's like, is it person? Is it person? But I think
Suddenly Theodos sighs a lot. Like, okay, I understand.
Peter.
And then
Do you want to do the chat in the other,
No, let's do it here.
or do it? Let's do it
Let's
here.
just do it here.
I'm assuming he'll be relaying the information to us if necessary.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And otherwise, the others will get very bored of this session very
yeah. I mean, we're gonna start doing more.
So may as well
Very
just
possible.
explain it once while the others can hear. So Seraphine's just like panting. She's like, I had.
Breathe. Slowly.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure what I just had there, but I think it was a dream. But I think it was very real because I think the threat is very real. But basically, okay. So there was like down the hallways of one of the amphitheater things, there was like this lady, and she had a peg leg, and she laughed, and she.
Whoa. Slow down. Slow down. Start again. Calm.
Oink, oink, squeal, oink, oink, squeal, squeal.
Theodos is basically trying to. He's mimicking the slow down version with the hands, but with one hoof. Slow down.
Oink oink.
Oink, oink.
So Seraphine will just kind of like take a deep breath. She's like, okay. So down one of those hallway things, I started hearing footsteps and a little thump sound, and it got closer to me and louder and stuff like that. And then I awoke and I saw a lady, and she was laughing maniacally. And when she laughed, like she was spitting out this weird yellow gas stuff, and she had a necklace of chattering teeth. And then eventually she was standing over me, and she was just like, John, what did you say again?
She just like.
She said that she'd come for something from you.
Yeah, she said that she came for something from me. And I tried to answer, but then she saw that I was a boar, and then she turned me into my, regular Seraphine form. And then I was able to talk. I'm like, hi, who are you? And she's like, oh, you don't need to know, Seraphine. I'm like, oh, how do you know my name? And she was just like, oh, we've been watching you for a while, me and my sisters. I'm like, oh, you have a sister. I bet they're as lovely as you are. And she's like, you can meet them if you want. And I was just like, nah, I'm good with just you. I'm like, do you need anything at the moment? And she was just like, She was like, yeah, I need something from you. And then she takes out this like knife thing, and it has a skull on it with an eye and a raven head on the. I can't remember exactly.
It was
Basically,
it was a knife with a bird's head on the pommel, like a bird's skull on the pommel, and in the crossguard of the dagger was an eye that was just looking around.
Interesting.
Yes, and basically she drove it down towards my head, and I'm freaking out because I think, well, this is the end for me. I'm done. I'm done for. And then she like cuts away a couple strands of my hair, and then she goes to leave and says, "This'll do." And then I'm just like, "Could you explain this to me?" And she's like, "Well, I could." And then she doesn't say anything. I'm like, "Okay, may you explain it to me?" Basically, I was pissed off at that point. I'm just like, "Is it a grammar thing? Is that why?" And so she says, she's like, are like, you are a threat to what we have planned, basically. And I'm just like, I'm looking at her. I'm just like, I'm sorry, me? I'm like, me, a threat? And I said to her, I said, I'm not that threatening. And she's just like, oh, really? You're not? And I just kind of like, gestured to myself because I was in my Seraphine form. I'm not very intimidating, threatening, or scary type thing. And she's like, at the moment, no, because you're. And then she snapped her fingers and was back in boar form. And she's like, because you're like this. And she's like, but soon you and your friends will be of a threat to us. And then ants started pouring out of the doorway, and then she left, and then I woke up.
Where did she leave?
She went back the way she came, and like she slammed the door behind her.
Could you
Like it
show
was
me
down
where?
that little. I immediately lead us to where she came from.
I turn back to my normal self, follow Seraphine without saying a word, but already takes my scimitar out, and I look quite pissed off.
So basically, I'm assuming that you were in some sort of a side room. The door to the side room is where she came in.
I'll just like tap this door with my hoof.
Burst open the door.
I follow behind.
It's a
And
corridor.
looks everywhere.
How long's the corridor?
This is one of the longer corridors.
How long, roughly?
Seraphine.
Probably about 60, 70 feet.
Can I run down it doing a perception to see if I can find anything or see anything ahead of me?
Yep.
I'm just going to stand beside Seraphine, just protecting her.
I roughly explained to everyone what Seraphine said.
Meanwhile, Seraphine's still kind of like shooken up, and she's thinking to herself, she's like, how was I so calm in that? She's like, I don't
Seraphine,
know.
Robert is going to nuzzle Seraphine again.
Silas is not calm, he's basically vibrating with anger right now.
Seraphine's vibrating with fear.
Well, to be honest, Riordan's along the same lines as feared us.
Renala
Something.
Renala comes and sits next to Seraphine and pats.
You just get nuzzles and pats from another.
Torin still just like standing guard, keeping watch, just in case anything else is, or anything's using this as a distraction or something. I don't know.
I will ask
Riordan would
Philip
like
to do the same with Torin while we search.
Riordan, after he's heard everything which has been said, would also like to ask Safe whether he's heard of anything like that.
Sorry, you're asking who?
Safe.
Oh.
Does he have any recollection of anything which sounds like that?
Good. Yeah, I mean, I rolled the same number twice.
You're consistent, is what we're learning.
I mean, I rolled a 20 on 100 at the beginning. I don't know why I expected otherwise.
So Riordan just takes off down the corridor looking left and right, and Safe manifests just kind of hovering in front of you.
Okay, perceptioning as well.
The description could be a night hag.
A night hag? What are they? I've never come across one myself.
Would Tammy know something like this?
Tammy doesn't hear this. Because this is only happening in Riordan's mind.
I'll see whether Soph knows anything else. Well,
Uh,
what are these night hags? I've never come across one.
Night hags tend to gather in covens, and they are Safe is trying to find the words.
Yeah.
You know the children's stories of witches.
Yes.
These are the very worst. These are the reasons for why we warn people of witches.
Would they be able to do, as Seraphine has just said, be able to drift in and steal some of her hair for disappearing away?
It is said that the powerful ones can enter people's dreams. She wouldn't have even been here.
Is there any word on what their weaknesses might be?
Different from one to the next. They're powerfully magical. That tends to leave one deficient in physical form, but that requires you to get close to them, and they're unlikely to allow that.
Understood. Distraction and physical.
Theodas, you examine the top of Seraphine's head, and it does look like there are some hairs there that are shorter than they were when you were looking at her earlier.
Right. By this point, I'm going to say that Reardon has run back and relays the information which he's heard.
The other thing you notice, Theodas, is that the flower crown that Seraphine had, because you made it, I think you made up the new one, didn't you? You know it quite well.
Yeah, I did it in 2 minutes.
It suddenly, like, even since she woke up, it's now looking more impressive. The flowers that were in it have bloomed and are more colourful. The vines that are holding it together have become larger and more intertwined into the boar's hair.
Might I suggest we take that off of her and detect magic?
I see that, and I take it off, and I examine it, and I say out loud, I did not make that.
The flowers that are used in it are exactly the same ones that you made. They just now, they look better.
Someone detected with magic.
I'm gonna detect magic this shit.
I can't do that.
I can, don't worry.
I can also.
At this point, Reardon
Don't
is
worry.
looking around now. By the way, did he see anything when
No.
he did his... Okay.
Nothing
Can I
was out of
sniff stuff?
place.
Can I sniff things?
You can attempt a perception check.
I'm
No, I
going
can't
to,
do that, right?
I'm going to do this as a ritual.
Sniff for me. Because I can't do it.
Does anyone else happen to know anything about these night hags?
Dude, can I roll a check on this or Tammy?
Can we roll anything to see if we know anything of night hags?
You can make me a Arcana. Anyone who is trained in Arcana can make me an Arcana check.
Damn it, I'm a bore.
Son of a boar. Son of a boar!
I don't have the training actually in Arcana check, but I learned. I studied a book about abyssal stuff. Can I roll intelligence?
Yeah, I'll give you just on the off
He's trying
chance.
his best.
On the off chance that it may have been in the book. No.
God damn it.
Nope. So yeah,
I know.
it's consistent. It's fair play.
I
I
don't know.
wish I was trained in Arcana.
Seraphine, you can make an Arcana check.
Wait, I can
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
How?
You still know everything you know.
You still know.
You won't be able to say it.
You won't be able to tell anybody, but you'll know the stuff.
Fantastic.
So I'm
Okay.
down one world shape.
This is a really nice
May
shot
as
of
well.
getting him to
Oh, you
sad.
can always
Well,
tap your hoop in spheres to get him to try and change back again.
I got 23, so
Yeah, I got
Oh, yeah.
guys. I got only.
Are you?
I got only 2 wild shapes, so don't get too.
Switch between every one of those.
Tell me what say that. Dare you think that? So me and Seraphine seem to know.
So the lion and the boar suddenly remember things about night hags.
Too bad that we're the ones who actually got.
Well, Tammy can speak for you.
Yeah, Tammy can speak for me. Okay.
Let me just have a look.
And then the twist, she's actually holding Tammy right now.
Oh no! Don't think that. Don't say that thing.
Don't suggest it. The DM is listening.
Don't suggest it. God damn it, Philippe.
Both of you, Seraphine and Romad, know that hags and night hags represent all that is evil and cruel. They appear to be withered crones, and while most of them do look vaguely human, there is nothing human about them, and that their forms are chosen to reflect the darkness within their hearts. They possess great magical abilities and have great affinity for spellcasting. They can alter their forms, they can curse their foes. They originate in everybody's favourite place, the Feywild.
I would assume that Roman had encountered one of them in the Fae then.
They believe that their magic powers are a challenge. They believe that their magic powers can challenge that of the gods.
Any in particular?
Any of them. There are stories of hags that propagate by snatching and devouring infant humans.
Beg your pardon with your little baby kobold there.
They steal the baby from its cradle and then consume the child, and then a week later they give birth to a daughter who looks human until her 13th birthday, whereupon they transform into the splitting image of their mother.
That's an happy birthday.
They are dark and evil and wrong and bad. And
what is their purpose for us, though?
they desire to see all that is virtuous turn to villainy, love turn to obsession, kindness turn to hate, devotion to disregard, and generosity to selfishness. They take a perverse joy in corrupting mortals.
They want
Oh,
the
I
death
know.
curse
No
to
wonder.
continue.
No wonder they
We've
chose Seraphine.
We threaten the death curse. They want it to succeed.
Are they the ones who's actually in death? Are they involved with the death curse, John?
You have no idea.
One last question for magic users.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you know any magic especially the evil kind, which requires hair of the victim.
Do I do Arcana again?
Do I have to roll again?
Sorry, one moment. What did Tech Ninja Bot do, Amy?
Oh,
What did it do to you? What did it do?
show us on the doll, Amy. Show us on the doll.
He won't stop talking after I send a message.
Ah, well. I mean, he'll do that. That's what he do.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I could roll that. Wait.
Do we roll anything?
You can, if you're trained in Arcana, you can make another Arcana check to see if you know anything that they could do with hair.
Probably not.
No, I don't know either.
Once again, not trained in Arcana.
Seraphine?
Try again and see.
Did I roll enough to know she's evil?
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, Seraphine also wrote in the dirt.
Yeah.
It's literally written by by boar hoof in the dirt.
Ding.
Seraphine,
Mhm.
you know that there are a great number of magical spells that can be made either more potent or are made possible by having some sort of a sympathetic link to a person. It's difficult to say what exactly they'd be trying to do, but yeah, there are a great number of spells that can be made either more powerful or just possible in general by having a link to a physical link to someone.
So, upon realizing this, Seraphine will just start crying again, and she'll like nod in regards to Riordan's question.
Okay.
Oh, she's not having a good time.
Reardon is
I
starting
just
to look
noticed
very, very
something.
pissed.
I don't think Seraphine even cried before she went into bull form.
Nope. I don't think so.
Reardon looks up, says to everyone, right, whatever happens, when we come across these hags, we need to make sure Seraphine stays safe. We keep her at the back just in case they're going to try and use her. We keep an eye on her to make sure that they haven't done anything to harm her before we have a chance to take them out. We will not allow them to do any more than harm those hairs upon her head.
Yeah,
Are
but
you
you're
with
right there,
me?
buddy.
Reardon, there's also something we must take into consideration. There's no saying there's just targeting Seraphine.
It
Might be
is just
targeting
targeting
each
all
and
of us.
every one of us in turn, and starting first with Seraphine. We need to be on our guard for everyone, and we need to be on our guard even in our sleep now.
Agreed. We've let our guard down once. But how do we... So I've been told the legends go, if they can sneak into your sleep, how are we supposed to protect against that?
The
Fight
thing
them
is,
in
like,
your sleep. Wake up.
Seraphine literally is sitting against the wall right now, and her eyes are as wide open as she can make them, and she's just not moving, and she's just trying desperately to stay awake.
Maybe
Nuzzling.
we have to try and wake up by ourselves.
Or
Does
resist
anyone-
them in the dream.
Does anyone know?
Seraphine, I mean, from what you described, what Seraphine said, she was very amicable to her. We need
That's
to
true.
resist as much as possible, make it hard for them to do anything to us.
Seraphine, nod yes or shake your head no to this. Whilst you were in the dream, did you feel like you had a chance, should you have been able to take it, to act, to fight, to run, anything? Were you feeling like you were able to move? Were you in control of your actions?
Mysterious voice in the sky?
From what you experienced, yes, you could act and move.
She nods.
Very well. We have
Well,
a
then that's
chance.
it. We need to fight this off and try to wake up every time.
John, is there possible that for someone like Dan and Theodas, would they also attack them in their meditation?
That was
It's
going to be my next question.
possible. It's meditation doesn't. Yep, fair.
It's actually likely because it was a night hag. Investigates the place where she was. It's obvious she would not leave a trace that can be picked by a non-magical creature. So to this point, it's fair.
It's possible. Elven meditation. You do dream. It's less common. It's less, obviously, because there's less meditation than there is sleep. You do tend to dream less, but the theory still works the same. You're not sure.
But in theory, would we be, because meditation, we're still aware of what's going on everywhere around us, so would we be like, we wouldn't be in a deep sleep, so we would be more likely to.
You would be able.
wake up by
You
ourselves.
imagine that you'd be more able to wake up if if that is an option that they can't somehow block from you. But you also know that as elves, there isn't any magic that can put you to sleep. So
I will say that I also remember back to when I was meditating before trying to combat Goldie here upon my shoulder. I was in a meditative state. He entered that meditative state, and we fought. I will warn that it did seem to have a physical effect whilst in a meditative state. I moved. If me or you happen to fight, we might move as well.
Well, then
In
they'll
which
see
case,
it.
Others might be able to see it and they might be able to react. Potentially.
Theodas,
Yes.
it takes you about 10 minutes to cast the ritual.
Yes.
I still didn't get my sniffing abilities. I got an 18.
Oh, sorry, you got an 18. You can't smell anything out of the ordinary.
You smell flowers.
Yeah, flowers and honey.
You smell flowers, you smell the rest of your party. You can smell one
Sorry, I
very
haven't
scared
had a shower
pig.
in a while.
Oh.
Yeah, close enough.
Seraphine whacks Roman with her hoof. Roman kind of just like moves back. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to reassure you, but okay, sorry. He's nuzzling. He's trying to cuddle her.
There is faint transmutation magic on the flowers, but it is fading.
Magic on the flowers has been fading.
Something affected these and has now gone. They are not magical themselves.
Wish I can contact my Patreon.
Transmutation magic on those flowers. Fading.
That'll explain why they grew.
Seraphine's just looking at the flowers like in shock. She's just like, they put
Why
magic
would
on
they
my
do
head.
that?
Magic's on my head now.
Does anyone know if those flowers are a particular sort? They're not going to give out spores, which might...
No, I don't think they're anything particular. The magic is not within the flowers.
No, I
Something
know that,
added the
but
magic on the flowers.
she cast it for a reason, though. My point is, if maybe when they're fully blown, they give out something. Can we roll a nature check to make sure it's not a poisonous flower of some sort?
You can.
Well.
Well, it's a 14.
I'm not trained in nature, so I can't do shit.
I got 20.
I'm not trained in nature either. I'm just looking.
I'm
I've just lived in.
letting Romad sniff the flowers.
I'm gonna try.
Nope.
They're not poisonous.
You're not
Hang on a
poisonous.
second. No. Did anyone, by chance, have any? Theodos, you were awake. You were keeping watch.
Yes.
You didn't happen to see
Nothing.
Seraphine change.
I didn't
Was-
notice anything.
I half wonder whether she changed in real life. They cut the hair and changed her back.
Well, I was working at the same time, but keeping a very, very close
That would
eye on
explain the
everything.
transmutation magic. They transmuted her and transmuted her back.
Possibly.
Yup, it's dust. So,
Well, Seraphine, you can
what do
take back the Pharaoh Clown. It's completely harmless.
Yes.
yeah, it's not poisonous at
Seraphine,
all.
Seraphine does not trust it.
No, it's not poisonous, but I wouldn't suggest.
Theodos is going then to put the flower crown on Renella's head.
And she dies, I'm sorry.
And the vines start to grow around her and circle around her throat.
Nah, I could deal with a flower crown, I guess. It's not the worst enemy we've had.
Reminds me of a certain Adventure Time. Adventure Zone.
So I guess no one's going back to bed now.
Well, I'm gonna probably go to
Seraphine
sleep.
I mean,
is
I'm ready to keep watch.
No reason to not sleep. There's nothing we can really do.
I am going to go back to sleep. But I suggest that when it comes down to it, Theodos, are you happy to continue to watch?
Yeah,
And try and keep an eye on us as well.
It's very calm here anyway, so I guess.
Can I
I'll-
Romad suggested he wanted to stay up, and he goes with yes.
Torin, you want to go get some sleep?
May as well.
Just keep your weapons near you guys, just in case. I know we can't actually fight those things. We're in our dreams, but
They never leave me.
goes back to make some work. And I imagine Seraphine doesn't go back to bed.
Nope. Seraphine is just sitting in her spot that she was in before, and she's just wide awake, looking around, continually
Roman's
just
gonna try and
watching
nudge her.
everything.
Roman's gonna try and nudge her away from that area and get her to come to the fire or something, just to keep warm.
Yeah. Theros is going to put a blanket on Seraphine's shoulder.
Props himself up and just folds his arms and sleeps.
Torin,
Tammy's gonna make more tea again for Seraphine.
as you sleep, you have the now familiar dream. You are in.
Not that dream. The other
You
one.
are in Omu.
Oh, that dream.
Yeah.
There is a dome of energy over the palace. There is a skeletal figure with glowing blue eyes walking through the streets. And tonight he gets closer to you.
That's not good.
And then the dream ends. And you wake up and it's morning.
Did I notice anything on
Nope.
Torin? Like, did he move or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
And you guys can all have taken a long rest.
Oh, that's the point. Click the button. I'm
I
highlighted.
don't know why I did that. I think I've got everything already.
I need to check why your long rest is apparently resetting your spell slots, because you don't have those.
I don't have those. I do have those.
Magically.
Everything's fine.
Did that actually...
Skeleton.
Yeah, I have no spells.
That
so-
didn't actually reset the health of Torin. I'll have to double check that.
That didn't reset my health, and that didn't reset my spell slots. So,
Oh, it's going well.
The
Actually,
wonders of roll 20.
the long rest didn't reset my wild shape either.
Reset those things.
sorry, I'm sorry.
I'll have to double check that the API is working.
Sorry.
Are you
So,
talking to me, Remed?
Yes. No, as Tanny. I'm sad.
Uh-huh.
I was
Why?
playing DVD with Alice.
No, we'll join him later. Anyway,
Yes.
the morning rolls round, and Seraphine is still a boar, very wide awake and scared.
I've
She
been
has-
beside.
she has
Rob
not-
has been beside her.
She has not removed her eyes from the fire, and at this point, it is probably just
Embers.
Never work Constitution.
embers just burning.
I
I'm
walk
trying
over to Seraphine, and I place a bottle of my brew by her side. There's no sense in panicking. We'll look out for each other. We will protect
Check
you
the-
as much as you would protect us. Take this for your courage.
She looks at it, and then she looks at it, and then she kind of looks up at Rudin, and she.
It's not the
How does
sorcerer's
she-
ale, it's the good stuff.
I was going to just check that as well.
Yeah, checking the brew just in case.
I've got to
Yeah,
keep
she-
that just in case this guy gets out of line.
I roll perception.
So she nods, and then she'll slowly drink the brew.
How long has it been now? How many hours has it been?
And just to confirm, before anyone thinks that I've done anything sly, it is just my alcohol. It's just the brew of ale.
I guess with a 15, I would have known if it was the.
You were
Yeah, you would know whether it's the sorcerer's ale.
Wait a minute, I just thought of something. Am I gonna have to do a Constitution saving throw as a boar?
Yes.
Because I'm drinking.
Not to mention that
Am I going to be
getting
a darn
tired.
boar? Don't put me through that. I've been through it already.
Yeah, it's in about 9 hours,
Because we stayed 1 hour.
and then 8 hours for a long
And
rest.
then 8
So
hours of long rest.
So, do I need to do a Constitution saving throw as a boar?
no, I'll let you just have a drink.
Oh, thank God.
And then suddenly you fall asleep due to the drink. And
Boars.
guess who's in the ring?
Boar's constitution is good enough to survive one drink without getting paralytic.
That's good.
I
Um,
fancy going hunting.
We're not going hunting alone.
Do you want to come with me?
No, send Philip. We're two felines together.
Oh, really? No.
Well, it makes sense. You're good at tracking now.
That's
Both of you.
catsist.
You
I
say
said
that.
you're good- I said you're good at tracking, and then that happens.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
catsist.
the dice really have it for me now. Just out of curiosity, if I reroll, yeah, that's barely better.
Philippe,
What should I...
Philippe says, "Yeah, I'm great at tracking." Walks outdoor, trips over Vine.
better? I do better.
Um,
Right now.
Did you sleep?
I use my own though. Is that okay?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Did you sleep though, Philip, this night? Because that was the wrong door.
No.
And that explains it.
I fancy a cup of tea now.
So Romad and Philippe set out early in the morning going hunting, and eventually by about midday, Romad comes back dragging enough meat for you all to eat, and Philippe comes back just about dragging his leg behind him as he's fallen down several pit traps. Several of which Theodas made during the night, sort of moats and ditches around the amphitheatre, and Philippe has fallen into pretty much all of them.
Philip, come on!
You should have given him a map.
You mean it was you?
And then Theodas turns to Riordan. You see, defenses work.
And then
But they
keep
better
out-
against our enemies, not ourselves.
Okay, who's fancy cooking today? Because I'm getting hungry.
I'm happy to
Yeah, then-
try. I've never really done much cooking for other people, so I'm
animal
happy to
is
try.
What animal did I capture?
A zebra.
yeah,
Oh,
Sure.
no.
Yes,
That's
it
nice.
is.
Dinosaur.
You took a T-Rex.
I mean, to be fair, you do have some T-Rex steaks.
True,
We
true
have that
that,
too.
true that, true that.
Theodas and
Yes.
Torin
Yes.
Can I get perception checks from the pair of you, please?
Uh-huh.
Okie dokie. Normal, regular old perception. Here we go.
Ooh.
It's gonna be good. I guarantee. Not gonna fuck up at all. This is me preparing you all for the fucked up shit. Oh, that's all right.
Well, then that was
Remember to do
that
that.
You
was-
sounded most disappointed.
Well,
You
nearly every other perception check I've ever done has been shit.
you guys just happen to be looking out as Riordan prepares lunch and Seraphine is busy working away planting the flower crown again. And Philippe is busy licking his own wounds.
Between the toes.
And you look out and you can see in the distance several humanoid shapes are coming this way.
That's not good.
People are coming.
Are those the UNT?
I move away and I'm presuming the defences have a particular line as such. Is there also a line where I can see where I can run through if necessary?
Yeah, I've built places for us to go through.
I'm going to be standing behind the defences near that so I can take a look at them.
Seraphine, you
Ready
go
to run.
back. Seraphine, you go back inside.
I agree.
she kind of turns and like turns to you in a huff, and she kind of gives you a look of why not? Why can't I fight?
Bye, Zishan.
Romad,
Looks
go
looks
look
at you.
after-
Looks at you
go
and
look after.
Should Roman go to with Seraphine?
no, I might stay, but stay in the rear guard, protect Seraphine.
Yeah, okay.
Agreed.
Looks at Seraphine and basically mimics the tusk with hands like you're a boar.
She huffs
Riordan,
and
can you make me a stealth check and a perception check?
Who?
Okay.
she
As a
kind of
stealth
huffs
check?
and she rolls her eyes, but she'll
I'm really not
Let me try
trying to
something and I
hide.
can do
move
that.
to the back.
Why am I doing performance? Perception. That's the one.
Well,
I'm not trying to hide, but I am trying to look at them.
We can see fucking everything.
while Riordan very stealthily just clomps his way out of the camp, Philippe just melds into the background somewhere, and you guys lose track of where he is. And he turns up in Storm King's Thunder at some point.
And we exchange him with Talon, everything's fine.
Oh, hi guys.
Riordan, you look out and you can see coming towards you 6 skeletal shapes, 6 skeletal humans, followed by one man dressed in red robes with a completely bald head and tattoos on the head, and 4 men with swords.
Huh. Are they drawn?
They're not drawn yet, but they are ready. They look eager for a fight, and they are coming directly towards the amphitheater.
I stumble forward a bit. Are they in hearing distance yet?
Yes.
I'll make a whisper back to the guys behind. Prepare yourselves, get ready. And yell out, "Yo there! State your purpose. Friend or foe."
They stop advancing towards you. The skeletons just kind of slouch and part to let the man in the red robes come forward. And at this point, I really wish I could remember what his name's meant to be.
My name is Bernard Cribbins.
My name is Bernard Matthews.
And I'm an accountant. You haven't paid your taxes.
I am Bernard Matthews pulls out a turkey leg, eats.
Talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I read.
What? Torin leans out. Why is he just standing there pondering?
I'm sorry. Don't give him to Seraphine. Seraphine can't hold him. She's got little tiny hooves.
As
I found out
weird
something
and he's sort of
interesting.
waving.
Kobolds are very tasteful, apparently. And
Takes a quick look back. Are you guys ready yet? And looks back at them, kind of still smiling, cheery face, as if drunk, leaning
Theodos
against my staff.
Theodos is prepared. Arrows. He's very ready. He's very.
Torin, shield, hammer, just fucking ready for this.
My name is
Seraphine.
Dyrax of Fae,
Oh,
and we are here for the cubes.
No, thank you.
oh, and what cubes would they be?
My master, Valindra, knows that you have them.
Oh, your master.
Your
Where might he be then? I must admit I haven't heard of him, but he sounds impressive.
She
Oh,
watches
my
over
apologies.
us from above.
At that point, Reardon looks up to see if he can find them, but obviously not. Looks back down. Well, that's interesting. So why do you think we have them?
She has seen them on you.
Oh, really? So, what do we get then? Should we give them to you?
If we are feeling generous, you may leave with your lives.
Oh, now that's not a deal. How are we supposed to do anything with that? Don't you know how to bargain?
We do not need to bargain with dead men.
We just attack them.
It's kind of
Basically-
funny. We
Basically,
usually end up with the
that's what
same as
happens.
Torin kind of mutters this under his breath to the one near him. Just, can't we just kill these guys?
Turns to Doring. What the fuck is he doing?
Well then, follow me. At which point, Reardon runs in back to the.
So Seraphine can go
I just
over there.
remembered to answer, we've got some
I follow him very mad.
Oh yeah, Dragonbait is with us. I always forget about Dragonbait.
He's very quiet. He smells lovely though.
Would you guys like to arrange yourselves?
Where are our defenses, by the way?
So, I don't know if I can draw.
Probably not.
I'll give Theodore. There you go. You can draw now.
Can I
I'm gonna draw a shape for each of the modes.
I shall wait for these defences to be drawn, and then I shall judge where I would be.
Yep, I'm thinking the same thing. That's why I'm waiting.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
While you're doing that, I'm going to start opening character sheets
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, you have 14.
because I have a lot to start opening.
So those are the holes.
Yep. If I can actually draw more, if Roll20 didn't kill everything.
What shape did you take to dig all of those?
He's a very good
Oh.
digger.
What shape did you take to dig all of those?
My hands.
You could have asked me. I have a shovel.
Yeah, Torin has a shovel.
I guess I would have asked for a shovel. As I said, I did ask for Torin for some help at some point, so I guess I would have asked him for the shovel.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm just picturing
I
you
also-
just digging like a rabbit and like.
I'm also does tools. You could have asked me, didn't I?
Well, I didn't need carpenter's tools. I just needed to.
Dig. You need to dig a hole.
Yeah, and I put some pikes in the hole. Although not all of the holes would have pikes. I guess only the two in the front would have pikes right now.
I mean, you could have asked Seraphine to help you dig. You know,
Yeah, but
after she woke
Seraphine
up
was
after a bad
having-
dream, because Lord is not.
Seraphine
but
was having
Lord,
a
she wasn't
sleep,
gonna-
and then after that she was having PTSD. So
So where would I'd be closer to the front because.
Right. I've just sort of started to run in, so I'm going to place myself up there.
Come on. Doo-doo.
Are we rolling initiative as well?
You're welcome to.
Where the hell is my character sheet gone? There it is.
I doubt we can do much.
Nope, still can't do it.
Take my initiative in account.
I think I'm screwed.
That's
Oh yes, by the way, if you're watching Sticky, hello.
No.
It's a naked guinea pig on Instagram.
Oh, come on.
Well, as I'm all the way down the initiative order, be right back.
No, I will be in the initiative order as soon as fucking about.
I can't.
Oh, Jesus, how many of these thugs want to roll natural 20s?
They're the fastest
Oh,
tug
boy.
alive.
Oh, well done.
I am coming back to the game. Due to Roll20 didn't like me to dig some holes. Kicked me out.
Why are you digging holes in my ground?
How dare you dig holes?
So,
All underground, self-destruct.
I think I got everybody.
No, yeah,
Hey,
you're
you're
missing me.
gonna have to.
Oh, I need to do
that.
lion
You're
and...
missing the. And you also need. Yeah, I was gonna say you also need to roll boar. Lion.
Lion, dragon bait.
Dragon Bait's on there.
I don't know, I can't see it yet.
Dragon Bait got a 19.
Nice, on dragon bait.
Boar.
Come on, roll. Fucking.
Rolled a 2.
I mean, if Boar gets into the action, it's basically we've lost the fight.
Oh no, we've had a problem here.
What?
The wizard's clothes can change colour.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ignore the colours of the pictures. They only give me so many.
It just reminds me. Saw that scene from
I rolled a 2.
Sleeping Beauty. I like it blue. I like it red. I like it blue. I like it red.
Oh, I remember that. Sleeping Beauty.
I'm almost back in the game. Almost.
That's all right.
Let's
We're
go
just going to
see
use you as a
what's
sacrifice
good.
for the moment.
Yeah, please don't. Right.
We might have a choice. We are sort of at the front of the.
No, I'm actually here. Behind one of the
For the
moats.
sake of, I've just had that conversation and I just ran in. How far in could I get to there, John, before the initiative started?
Well, I mean, let's for a start assume that you weren't talking right on your doorstep. And
Well, I was in earshot. I was trying to see how far.
I'm going to just
I
reveal...
would be close to that kind of.
I would have started off about there, just outside with the barricades and all.
I'll give you a movement so you can just basically get anywhere within 50 feet of there.
Sweet. Let's just see how. Okay.
I got 16, which is not that bad.
So,
I'm
first
just
up,
going to run 30 feet over there.
But
Then.
will it be enough against the lightning tugs?
Philippe,
Yes.
it is
Go
your
first.
go first.
I will wait it out as I'm still hidden in the vegetation around, and so for now I'm just waiting to.
Yeah, ain't nobody able to see you at the moment, so... Time for the lightning thugs go. Except one of the skeletons also goes. This guy goes. How fast is a skeleton, I ask you?
Are they having a race?
They can move 5 feet around, John. I
5,
swear.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's it. Thug. Number this one.
So that's Jimmy.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And it's Johnny.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
How did you know?
By any
You
chances
were
this one?
Theaters.
Oh no, we've got Dragon Bait now. Oh,
It's Dragonbait's turn, and he's going to take up his Holy Avenger longsword and think to himself, and somehow emote via smell, finally, the undead, and charge.
Finally, the thing I've been waiting for.
Alright,
5,
yeah,
10,
good,
15,
good,
20,
good.
25, 30.
kind of a mixture of lemon and wood smoke.
Then he swings with the Holy Avenger longsword, and he deals 21 points of damage and cleaves this skeleton, and then can't reach anybody else.
Go dragon, go dragon, go dragon bait.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
30.
Theodas Laura Karen.
Theodas, on seeing that, is going to be an
You have
ass.
range.
Yes, I know I have range. And so we can cast that at second level. I can't actually cast it at second level. Okay, cast it at third level then.
Oh,
Concentration.
what are you conjuring?
King
What
of
can I
Pigeons.
conjuring? Any kind of beast?
One beast of challenge rating 2 or lower.
Okay, so what is a challenge rating 2 or lower?
Sean.
This is the issue. We don't have this list. Hang on. I'll have to.
Wait, I have the book.
Because if I can make them change targets, that could be interesting.
Well, you could summon,
Mm-hmm.
because I have it open at the moment, you could summon 8 boars.
All of them! Boar charge!
The boar!
You could summon 2 You could summon 2 lions.
Excuse you, I ain't no beast. No, not you.
I mean, let's have a look.
How about
Miles. I'm getting there.
okay, I'm going to see in my form. Tigers are considered what?
You could summon a rhinoceros.
Challenge rate. One beast at challenge rating 2. Here we go. So you can summon giant constrictor snake, elk, polar bear, rhinoceros, saber-toothed tiger, Quetzalcoatlus.
No, you can't. I don't have that one.
Aurochs, ankylosauruses, giants. No, correction, no. Forget ankylosauruses onwards. Those are level 3. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, time for Rhino.
Rhino!
Where would you like the rhino?
Rhino is going to here and block them entry and then charge them on his turn because we actually have to roll his turn.
And thunder and bait.
Says on the thing.
Any minute now, when it loads the character sheet.
You got a snake in your.
Aww.
Any minute now.
Woody.
Queen Crips is complaining that she can't see the map.
Oh! Doop.
That's because it's hidden to non-believers.
God damn it, John.
I always forget to press the button.
So we got Jimmy, Johnny, and Jerry and the Lightning Tugs.
And
My
Remy
God.
the Rhino.
And the rhino rolled a 1.
I mean, his job right now is to hold them at the bridge. So, good. Stay there.
5,
We
10,
told him
15, 20,
try
25,
once
30.
else.
5, 10, 15, 25, 30. No, that must be there. It's counted. Ranala.
Wipe them out.
All of them.
Use your coin.
Does have a thing that can make most of them turn tail and run. I would bluff 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Turn undead. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30.
She is gonna do a thing. Ooh, she's gonna use a level 4 spell on... Who's she gonna use it on? I mean, it makes sense to be the mage. What's the range? Is she within range?
Only you would know.
She is not. She can hit a thug. That seems a useless, pointless... No, we're not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
I don't know, John!
Can't she move first?
Actually, no, yeah, she can do that.
I don't think we're ever gonna know what she's gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
Now she's in range.
Banishment!
Oh boy, lots of breaking.
Ooh.
Waiting.
I wonder where he'll be banished to. Let us see.
So, let's see. He needs to make a thing.
Charisma saving throw.
So,
Charisma saving throw.
who did she target?
The mage.
Oh,
Can't find the mage. There he is.
He needs to do a thingy.
Charisma saving.
Charisma save. A failure of a charisma
He's
save.
banished.
He's banished.
Poop.
There is an audible... And he is no longer there. And Renala is just pointing at where he used to be.